When you think of Nevada, you picture bright Vegas lights, packed casinos, and endless jackpots. But here's the twist. Most of Nevada looks nothing like that. In fact, 85% of the state is empty desert and struggling towns. Some are so remote, a grocery run can mean a 3-hour drive. And behind the glamour of the Strip is a harsher reality, a shrinking water supply, dying rural economies, and entire communities disappearing. So why are people quietly leaving, even in one of America's fastest-growing states? And what happens if Nevada's biggest lifeline, tourism, starts to dry up too? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see this state forever. Beyond the Strip, the forgotten Nevada. Las Vegas sells the dream. Neon lights, sold-out shows, celebrity chefs on every corner. But outside that tiny slice of the state, the reality is completely different. Drive just an hour north, and the glow fades fast, replaced by quiet highways, boarded-up motels, and towns fighting to stay alive. Most people don't realize this, but 3/4 of Nevada's population lives in just 2 counties, Clark, where Vegas is, and Washoe, home to Reno. The rest of the state? Spread across small desert towns, mining outposts, and ghost towns left over from the Silver Rush. Jobs outside the big cities are scarce, and when the mines slow down, entire communities feel it overnight. It's a Nevada tourists never see, and one that's getting emptier every year. But here's where it gets really interesting. The biggest challenge isn't even jobs. It's water, running dry. Nevada's water crisis. You can survive without a lot of things in Nevada, but not without water. And here's the hard truth. Nevada is running out. Lake Mead, the state's largest water source, has dropped to some of the lowest levels in history. Entire marinas are now bone-dry parking lots. Cities like Las Vegas have strict water restrictions, tearing out lawns and banning decorative grass just to save drops. But the rural areas, they've got it worse. Wells go dry, farmers drill deeper at huge costs, and some communities truck in water because the local supply can't keep up. Add to that a hotter, drier climate every year, and the state's growth is running headfirst into a resource ceiling. Most people think Nevada's biggest challenge is money. It's not. It's the fact that without water, nothing else works. And that brings us to the next problem. Even if you can get water, can you actually afford to live here? The mirage of affordable living. People see Nevada and think, cheap housing, low taxes, jackpot. But the reality? The cheap days are long gone. Las Vegas and Reno have seen housing prices explode in the last decade, with rents climbing faster than local wages. A one-bedroom apartment that used to cost $800 now pushes $1,500 or more. Sure, there's no state income tax, but high property taxes, rising insurance rates, and inflated grocery prices eat away any savings. And rural Nevada? Housing might be cheaper on paper, but you'll pay more for fuel, food, and basic services. Why? Because everything has to be trucked in, sometimes hundreds of miles. So yes, you can find a small house for under $200,000. But the cost of living day to day, that's where most newcomers get hit hard. And if you think you'll just land a high-paying job to make it work, well, that's the next problem. An economy built on one card. Nevada's economy is a gamble, and not just in Las Vegas. Tourism and hospitality make up a massive chunk of the state's income. When casinos, hotels, and entertainment venues are full, the money flows. But when tourism dips, like in 2020, jobs vanish overnight. Outside of the big cities, the economy leans heavily on mining. That's boom or bust too. One bad market swing and entire towns feel the hit. There's little diversification. Tech is trying to grow in Reno and Henderson, but it's a slow climb. And for most people, the jobs available don't pay enough to cover the new high cost of living. So if tourism slows or mining prices drop, Nevada feels it faster than almost any other state. And that's not the only thing that can shut the state down almost instantly. Ghost Town State. Drive through Nevada's back roads and you'll see the ghosts of its past. Towns that once roared with mining crews, saloons, and railroad stops now sit in silence. Faded storefronts lean under the desert sun. their signs barely legible. Streets that once saw hundreds of boots a day now hear only the wind. Some of these towns died a century ago when the silver and gold ran out. Others collapsed as recently as the 1982nd when mines closed or rail lines shut down. And the pattern isn't just history. In some rural counties, you can feel it happening again. Young people leave, jobs vanish, and the population trickles away. It's not that Nevada forgot these places, it's that the economy moved on without them. And every year, a few more communities edge closer to becoming another dot on the map marked abandoned. Rural healthcare on life support. In much of rural Nevada, getting sick isn't just an inconvenience. It's a risk you can't afford to take. Whole counties have no hospitals at all. Clinics are often understaffed. And specialists? Forget it. You might have to drive 3, 4, even 5 hours just to see the right kind of doctor. For emergencies, the situation gets even more dangerous. Ambulance rides can span hundreds of miles, costing thousands of dollars in precious time. In winter, icy roads can delay care even longer. It's not just about distance, it's about access. Recruiting medical professionals to remote desert towns is a constant struggle. Many choose to work in bigger cities where pay is higher and resources are better. That leaves rural residents with fewer options, longer waits, and sometimes no care at all. In Nevada's most isolated corners, healthcare isn't a guarantee, it's a gamble. Crime and transience in tourist hubs. Las Vegas may be Nevada's crown jewel, but living there is a whole different story. The city's transient nature, fueled by tourism, constant turnover, and short-term rentals, creates neighborhoods where no one really knows their neighbors. Some areas see higher crime rates, from petty theft to violent incidents, often tied to the unpredictable flow of visitors. Add in casinos that run 24/7, and you've got an environment that never truly sleeps or settles. It's not just Vegas either. Reno and other tourist towns deal with similar challenges. Seasonal workers come and go. Rental prices spike during peak seasons, pushing locals further out. The result? Communities that feel temporary, unstable, and harder to build a life in. For those who call these hubs home, it can mean enjoying the excitement one day and worrying about safety the next. Stability is rare in a place built for visitors. Who still stays and why? Despite all the challenges, some people wouldn't dream of leaving Nevada. For them, the desert isn't just a backdrop, it's home. Casino workers who've built entire careers in the hospitality industry stay because the jobs, while demanding, can pay well and offer a unique lifestyle. Ranchers and rural families remain because their roots go back generations, tied to the land in a way outsiders can't always understand. Artists and free spirits thrive here too, drawn by Nevada's looser regulations, open landscapes, and off-the-grid possibilities. There's also the climate appeal. No shoveling snow for half the year, endless sunshine, and winters mild enough to make up for scorching summers. Outdoor lovers find peace in wide-open spaces, mountain ranges, and hidden hot springs. For these residents, the same isolation and harshness that drive others away create a sense of freedom and self-reliance. Life here isn't easy, but they'd argue that's the point. Nevada rewards those who adapt. And for the people who figured it out, the state isn't a last resort. It's a well-kept secret they're happy to keep to themselves. Nevada isn't empty, but it's changing fast. For every new resort or booming suburb, there are miles of forgotten towns and communities fighting to survive. The question is, will the state's future be shaped by those who stay or by those who leave? So, would you take on the desert's challenges for a shot at its rewards? Or is Nevada better left to the ones who already call it home? Drop your thoughts in the comments and stick around, because the next state in this series might just surprise you.